Kathy Walsh has often told the story at conferences that the IBM team commissioned to develop the original SCRT program in assembler was told it had an anticipated useful life of about 6 months. And that was in 2002. So even though recently rewritten in Java to support additional IBM pricing models, the SCRT program has been around for almost 2 decades. And anyone who has used the either IBM SCRT program is well aware that it's very good at telling how many MSUs you use, so IBM knows the amount of your MLC software bill, but it's not very helpful at all at giving you information that could help you reduce that bill. So IntelliMagic Vision is designed to give you visibility into SCRT and SMF89 usage data to help you manage and ideally reduce your MSU consumption through support of both CMP, Country Multiplex, which has a single peak, and Legacy SCRT that has separate peaks by KEK, through drill downs including CPU use during peak 4-hour periods and address spaces that are registering each product, through tabular and graphical views of MSUs by product across the billing month, through runtime reporting that gives you great customization flexibility. For example, the ability to identify test LPARs that should be excluded from enterprise SCRT processing because they're covered in a separate dev test pricing container. And IntelliMagic Vision now also supports the enterprise consumption model within tailored fit pricing, reporting on cumulative MSUs used by a system over an entire billing month. Now let's demonstrate some of these capabilities. So this report set provides MSU values for those who are operating under country multiplex pricing. There's the separate report set here for the legacy single KEK peak by KEK model. So there's 2 overall starting points to view the data, this line chart over time and a tabular view. So if we start with the line chart, we see at a glance several pieces of information, including where the monthly peak values are by product, when they occurred, how much higher the peak was than other time intervals, and what is the relative relationship between different products. Then powerful drill down capabilities of IntelliMagic Vision can be leveraged to research this further. So for example, we can look at the MSU contribution here by KEK, and then or we can look at the contribution by system. For the systems, only systems where the product is executing based on the usage data from the SMF89 records will appear here and contribute to the MSU total for that product. Now sometimes it's easier to work from a data in a tabular or numeric form. So here we see the monthly peak values for each product, when the peak interval occurred, and whether software group capping was in effect during the peak 4-hour period. So from here, drill downs are available to determine how many MSUs each KEK contributed to that peak value, or we can do the same thing and look at it by system. Also, there's a list of the top 20 hours. So you can see how much higher the peak was than the next highest intervals during the month. Also, we can view the KEK 4-hour rolling average values graphically across the month. Again, to view when the high values occurred, how much higher they were than other high intervals. And also in addition to KEK, we can do that from a systems perspective where that product was executing. And again, for those operating under the legacy model with separate peaks by KEK, we've got the same reporting capabilities, again by KEK and by product with the similar drill downs. For a different example here, if we want to investigate the workloads that were driving the 4-hour rolling average at any particular time, which again is likely to be of particular interest during the peak, we can drill directly into IntelliMagic Vision's powerful CPU reporting for the interval that contributed to that 4-hour rolling average interval. So the time interval that's appearing here is automatically adjusted to reflect those hours. So from here then we can drill down, as you can do in the standard IntelliMagic Vision CPU reporting, by system, by workload, by service class, and so on. So in this example, let's go ahead and drill down by WLM importance level. So here we can find that during this interval that contributed to this peak, most of the work was coming from higher importance levels, systems 1, 2, and 3. But there were a couple hundred MSUs of activity going on in discretionary. So then from here we can drill down and see the address spaces that were running during that time that were contributing towards the toward that peak value. And so we can drill down and see quickly what address spaces were running in that discretionary importance level and were contributing toward the 4-hour rolling average value that was achieved during that peak interval. There are several time-of-day profiling capabilities available for metrics throughout the entire IntelliMagic Vision product that can also be very helpful when performing SCRT analysis. Let's go ahead and look at the time-of-day profile for the IMS activity for the previous billing month. So this shows the average value for each hour across the month. That's the green line. The green bar represents the 10th and 90th percentiles, so throwing out the 3 highest and the 3 lowest days. And then the yellow bar represents the absolute minimum and maximum. And since workload profiles are often very different between weekdays and weekends, let's go ahead and limit this now to just Monday through Friday. And we can see now that it's a pretty consistent profile across the billing month, much less variability between the minimums and the maximums. Another helpful way to view the data can be to look at it by each day as a separate line. So again, this gives us a really good view of how much higher the peak is than the next kind of set of highest peak values. And again, if we want to change this and have it be the weekdays, then the much more consistent profile as well across the billing month. Then one other final way to get this kind of a profile is to do it by day of week, average by day of week. So here's that, and again, across the weekdays, again, a very similar profile.